I also changed the settings on my mouse so that it is a quieter click. Because when I watched the last one, right? When I watched the last one, it was just like ridiculously loud. Okay, copy. And post. Cool. I love your wallpaper, by the way.
Oh my God, it's terrible. Please come take it away.
I mean, that's a lot of work, but sure. Sounds like a fun project. When
there's
we're not.
There's wallpaper under it too.
Oh, what's the wallpaper under it? Oh God, it just gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Like, technically, this is a rentable unit in our house. We rented it out for like the first year we had the house. We haven't really since because, like the rest of the house, it's falling apart. And neither of us are handy. Neither of us are very butch people, and that's fine. But also, we don't do a lot of fixing of the house. We get our butch lesbian friends to come fix it for us, or help us, or lend us tools to help with it. Yeah, no, that's totally what we do. We're like, hey, friends, can we borrow all of the tools in your garage and then return them in 6 months when we've only done half of what we need to do with them?
And they're like, sure, because they're friends, and that's great.
Because they're friends and they're great, and it's good.
So with that, I have to ask you, Hallie, what's not wrong with your life?
Oh gosh, what's not wrong with my life is, oh right, the thing. It's so the other day.
No, not yet. Just what's not wrong with your life? Literally anything.
What's not wrong with my life?
Yeah.
This dress. I like this dress.
Awesome. That's great. With that, I'm gonna play our theme song.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Got the button for computer sound. This is the world debut of the theme song. Here we are.
Welcome to Krista's new talk show. It's really something, don't you know? There's a friend and maybe there's a cat. Maybe they'll take some time to chat. Her mother thinks she's funny. Her mother thinks she's funny. Her mother thinks she's funny. And maybe you will too.
Are you ready for this?
So that was the theme song. Thank you so much for joining us. For My Mother Thinks You're Funny, or My Mother Thinks I'm Funny. Welcome today on our show, my show. We have Hallie Larson. Hallie is an amazing programmer, teacher, tabletop RPG enthusiast, crusader for justice, and good human. Hallie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So now our first segment, is there a cat near you? If so, please introduce us to the cat.
There is not. I'm super allergic. So sadly, there are no cats nearby.
I'm very sorry for you. This is Bitsy.
Hello, Bitsy. Hi.
I provide a cat should you not have one available.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. And I appreciate cats that are not able to make me sneeze and have allergies and have to go to the hospital for lung stuff.
Oh God. Yeah, that sounds like really bad, especially now.
Yeah, right. No, that's, yeah, we had guinea pigs and they had to go live with a friend because of the stuff.
Lung stuff, yeah.
Yep.
So I am curious about your moment. Do you have an moment or a moment lately?
Okay, so let's see. The other day, my wife suggested that we have sausages for dinner. And I was like, we don't have sausages. And she was like, no, they're in the freezer. And I looked in the freezer and there were sausages there and it was great.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you were just like, huh.
Yeah, that was really nice. I was like, huh.
Oh, so what kind of sausages were they?
I think they're Italian sausages.
Okay. And what was the pairing?
We haven't had them yet, is the thing.
Well, so
because because they're frozen and they have to be defrosted. So she sort of dug a fire pit out in the backyard, and we've been having fires. And she's been cooking dinner over them, or we've been cooking dinner over them sometimes, and it's been fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I love open wood fire cooking.
It's nice.
Yeah. Are you guys using any particular type of wood?
Stuff that fell off our tree. So whatever that tree is, I think it's some kind of maple.
Maple, great. That's a thing. You can buy like maple smoked blah blah. So,
I don't have to.
You being fancy.
We're being very fancy. I made zucchini over it the other night. It was very good.
Oh wow, yeah, with some zucchini with some smoke.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Are you gardening as well? It sounds like you have quite the outdoor palace.
Yet. Oh, sorry, not yet. We there's terrible shade situations in the backyard, so we need to have someone come and the trees are like falling down. They are sick and dying. So we need to have someone come and cut the trees down. They're supposed to a couple weeks ago, but the Rona happened. So that's still supposed to happen at some point, and then we will start gardening. But we are sort of
so funny, coming from California, like trees, you always wanted all of the trees and all of the shade in the backyard, and you'd have to build shade structures and do all of this. And now you're like, no, cut it down. We need sunlight.
Yeah, no, we need sunlight.
It's awesome. It's just so backwards for me.
That's fair. There's a lot of sunlight in California.
There is a lot of sunlight in California. So I don't know, Hallie, if you watched the first episode on Tuesday.
I saw the promo.
That counts. So for the first episode, we had my mother send in a joke.
This is very good.
It was amazing. It was, I can't even know words for how amazing it was. Because not only was it not really a joke, but she like did a character. And it was 3 minutes, and she like wore a hat and did like a voice and did some lead in, and it's amazing to watch, not only because it is ridiculously funny despite it not being a joke, but also because in it, she says that she's scared, and she talks about how she was scared, but she did it anyway, which is just like, right, it's to be scared and do something anyway is the bravest thing, right? And
absolutely.
So today she declined to send me a joke for today. Unfortunately, she was like, I did it once. I showed I loved you. I do not need to do this again. So she declined to send me a joke for today. So today we have a joke from Mary Goodall, who is Matt's mom, Matt's surrogate mom. So I will share the screen and we will watch that joke together. Okay. Here we go. I am excited for this. And boom.
Working in a mirror factory is something I can totally see myself doing.
I enjoyed that.
Yep. So that was today's joke from Mary Goodall. Thank you so much, Mary, for agreeing to do that on a very last minute basis. That was fantastic. So excited. So, Hallie, does your mom think you're funny?
Sometimes I think she tolerates me. Every once in a while she thinks something I do is really funny. Mostly I think she's just humoring me all the time.
How do you know the difference?
I don't. That's the problem.
Okay.
Like every once in a while she'll like if she laughs unexpectedly. If she just laughs and she's like, but like sometimes she will, to be fair, she will actually like say, "You're funny." Like sometimes. So I guess she thinks I'm funny and I'm probably just overreacting.
Now, is she saying you're funny instead of actually laughing?
Sometimes, yes. Or sometimes it's after laughing.
Now, you are not, like an improviser or a comedian, although I would say you have those traits.
No, I have never. I've done like 1 or 2 improv things when there wasn't anything else to do around, and that's about it.
That's how some of us start. There's nothing else to do. I might as well do improv.
No, I've definitely done that a couple times before. I think you were there. Yeah, you got me to do it once.
I did, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, so for someone who is not a comedian, you know, if your mom thinks you're funny sometimes, like, you know, you're not necessarily trying to be funny, which is good.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you, in your free time, design new RPG games for people to play.
Yep.
What is one that you've designed recently, and how can people play it?
So, one thing I made recently was Wizards wear hats, sorcerers wear hoodies, which is a 1-page, just little game about figuring out who you are and meeting up with other people who like see the world the same way you do, but not quite the same, and comparing notes. Where you just get like a hat or a hoodie and you talk about like why it's important to you and how you got your magic from it, or why it symbolizes how you got your magic. And then you talk to other people who are also doing the same thing about it. I put it up on itch.io. So if you go there and search, I think for just Hosted Larson, you can find it. Although, yeah, it's just at itch.io/hat-. Yeah, it's if you look for Wizards wear hat, sorcerers wear hoodie on itch, you'll find it.
Awesome. Have you had anyone try it out yet?
I don't think anyone's like tried it. I've had a couple people get it and look it over and react favorably to it, but I haven't heard anybody play it yet.
Do you do a campaign with it?
This is like I guess it's a campaign. It's more like just a social check-in thing. But yeah, that's something I did recently. It took me like 2 hours to make. So it's not like one of my big projects, but it is one of my like fun quarantine stuck by myself projects.
Yeah. And you're also teaching as well.
I am. I'm teaching. I just taught my last game design class of the semester last night via Zoom. And that was a really good class. I really liked it. I really liked the students. I think it went really well.
Do you have to figure out, like, when you're doing your game design, do you have to figure out how to like balance the different parts of the game, or are you just being like, here's how you do the programming?
So there are different ways to do it. I for this focus less on balance or programming and more focus on theory stuff. So we talk a lot about how people play games and why they play games and what they get out of them, and also just how to make a game from like a project management, practical self-motivation standpoint, more than from a programming standpoint.
So I know that, you know, like being an improviser, watching improv scenes, it's like we know how the sausage is made, going back to sausage.
Yeah.
And it obviously like changes the way we interact with the art form and changes the, you know, does that happen to you? Like, since you are a game designer and you have designed games, like, do you still look for the same things out of the games that you're playing? And what games are you playing?
Oh gosh. So no, I think it's different. Like with video games, I used to do video game design and development professionally too. It's very much changed the way I approach them. Like I am always looking at like, yeah, I know how the sausage get made. When there's like a unskippable cutscene, I know that they're like, oh, they put this in because they want to load in some textures in the background and stuff like that. Like I'm always looking for the smoke and mirrors to try to see where it is and see the angles and know how they do it. And that definitely affects the experience. And every once in a while, there's a game that I can like lose myself in, but that's okay. Like one of the things I've always liked about games is understanding them and how they're models of how the world can work, and understanding how someone else understands an interactive model of the world has always been a fun part anyway. So like deconstructing games is sort of always how I've played them on some way. So not always, like sometimes like the game I made is a super arcadey top-down shooter, which is not very like cerebral. It's very, you know, like, because also I have severe attention deficit disorder. And like, sometimes I really like a game that just takes all of my attention and I need to focus all of my focus on it.
So what games are you playing right now? Or what games do you lose yourself in?
That's the other half of your question. So in terms of role-playing game, I'm running a game of Scum and Villainy that's set in which is a Forged in the Dark breakoff. Basically, this game that I'm running is about a bunch of space pirates in a Star Wars pastiche universe.
Sweet.
Because I've been watching a lot of Star Trek during the quarantine, and it's super problematic, but also fun to watch.
Are you watching the original series or what?
No, mostly Next Generation and Voyager. Voyager is hot garbage, but I love it. I just watched the worst. I watched this oh my God. I watched this hear both sides of rape accusations episode of, it was bad.
Yeah, I think I remember one of those.
Yeah, it was bad. So their heart's in the right place, but it's definitely it's aged better than a lot of things from the 90s, but it's still yikes.
So you're playing an RPG game with that.
So I'm playing an RPG game sort of set in a Star Wars pastiche, and we're playing around with the concepts and is the Federation, because my wife and I just watched Picard, which I actually really liked, except for some of the Star Trek bullshit of it, which I also love, but also anyway, it's a whole fucking thing. Pardon my French. Sorry, I didn't know if this was a cursing show or not. I guess I figured it out. So yeah, I'm playing that. I'm running that. I'm playing in another game called Urban Shadows, where I am a sort of robot mannequin.
And this is also an RPG?
This is also an RPG.
Are you playing any video computer games?
Yeah, so right now I'm also playing the new Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm finishing that up, and I'm playing the Total War Warhammer PC game. And and a little bit of XCOM Chimera Squad.
Awesome.
Yeah, so a lot of video games, I guess. Oh, and of course, Animal Crossing.
Very nice, very nice.
A lot of
so one of the things that I'm also trying to do and encouraging other people to do is the indulge your impulses or engage your impulses. So, for example, I decided, yesterday morning that I really wanted cinnamon raisin bread, but we didn't have any, and I wasn't going to go to the store. So I made it, and it was ready this morning, and I had amazing sourdough cinnamon raisin bread this morning.
That's great.
It seems like most of my things are about food, but is there anything where you just
sourdough loaf? Oh, sorry.
What? No.
How did you make sourdough in less than 4 days?
I already had a starter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Matt's making sourdough banana bread right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's kind of, one of the things that I'm doing to engage my impulses is because, right, nothing matters. If you want to do something, just do it. Just do it right then. Why not? So is there anything that you have done to engage your impulses?
See, I've been going on walks more recently. Everything I do is to engage my impulses. I made cookies the other day with some cardamom and cinnamon. I accidentally started making oatmeal chocolate chip cookies because the recipe on the back of the Toll House thing wasn't the chocolate chip thing. So I started on that recipe, and I'd already added cinnamon before I was like, no, I'm not putting oats in this thing. And anyway, so I did that, and I put in some cardamom and some salt and some molasses because we didn't have brown sugar. And it ended up, we have molasses and not brown sugar. But yeah, that ended up pretty good. I made that game Wizards Wear Hats, Sorcerers Wear Hoodies. That is a thing I just did. I made I was looking at a piece of art a former student of mine did of a sorcerer, and I was like, wow, that dude looks like they're wearing a hoodie. And I was like, sorcerers always wear hoodies, and wizards always wear hats. So I made a tweet, Wizards Wear a Hat and Sorcerers Wear Hoodies. Then I was like, now I'm going to make this into a one-page role-playing game. And I did. So that was definitely chasing an impulse.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, with that concludes our show. I'm gonna play an outro. I know how to do this.
That was your good outro you just did then.
Oh, thanks. Does that do just the... Are you just seeing my QuickTime play?
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, that's fine. Thanks for joining us. This is great. Thanks for being on the show, Hallie.
Thank you for having me.
And with that, And that's it. Thanks.